With UFC 287 less than a day away, one big change that both fans and fighters have been demanding for years is an MMA glove with a curve. So when a fighter's hand is relaxed, the fingers will point down, reducing accidental eye pokes. Gilbert Burns is set to face Jorge Masvidal in the co-main event and tries on the new and improved UFC gloves.
I love it because people don't see, but it's not. It kind of make your fingers go down, so less eye poke. I like it. See, my hands are relaxed. It goes here. It doesn't stay here. Way better for no eye poke. I like these new gloves.
Also on the main card is the welterweight fight between Kevin Holland and Santiago Ponzinibbio. However, Santiago has now revealed that Kevin proposed that they increase the weight agreement to 185 pounds, which would suggest that maybe Kevin Holland was struggling to make the weight.
Me lo mandó por privado, lo mandó a las redes sociales. La verdad que yo ni chequeo mucho las redes sociales, pero la gente que maneja las redes me avisó y nada.
170, ¿no?
Pero si hay un papel firmado, mi amigo, esto acá es profesionalismo, hay un papel firmado en las 170 libras. Lo que él diga no me interesa, lo hubiera dicho antes de firmar el papel y hubiéramos llegado a un acuerdo, ¿no? Con un contrato firmado no me interesa lo que él diga, seguramente lo haga para jugar un poco, para intentar meterse en la cabeza, pero desde ya que conmigo no le va a funcionar.
Now on to the main event, a rematch of epic proportions. Both Adesanya and Pereira have now officially made the weight and will fight it out for a fourth time. And Hall of Famer Chuck Liddell has spent significant time with Pereira and shares his honest thoughts on the rematch. He's doing great. I had a few things I wanted to help him with, things that I could add maybe, and see if he liked them for some of the wrestling stuff. I thought he picked it up well. I'm looking forward to see him maybe use one of them, but I don't know. He's looking sharp, so I don't know if we'll get a chance to see that. I think it's gonna be tough. I mean, he has lost to him. How many times has he lost to him now? That's stuck in the guy's head, and it wasn't too long ago. I'm thinking that he's going to end it in 3. He's got the size if he really wants to put it on. If he decides not to cut anymore and go up, he's big enough. His body can carry the weight. I think he could make that transition. He's strong. He's strong for a 185 pounder. The body size, and he hits hard. He hits hard for a 205 pounder. And on the Weighing In podcast, Josh and John give their honest breakdown of the imminent showdown.
I think Alex gets it done again. I think it'll potentially go the distance, but I think Alex gets it done again because I think he knows now. At any moment, I could walk you down, land big strikes, and I could get you out of there. And he could change the tide of every round now, like he did in the last fight, in the end of the fight. He knows that if I just win the last minute and a half by walking you down, trying to land big strikes, I could do that. I could get this win that way.
Yeah, he could. But he needs to be careful still because if you go to that fight, that first fight, he got
Second
rocked.
round. First round or second round?
Second round, right at the end of the round. He got rocked. And if that fight or that round had more time, might not have been the result that we all saw in the 5th. Because it may never have gotten there. He knew he had his knockout performance in kickboxing. He had the decision. Okay. And that if it was a kickboxing match, he's going to go into the next one super confident. But it was MMA, and it was different. And so now I think he is going to be more confident. I always look and say, man, when you have a guy, what's the age difference on these guys right now? Because I think they're right the same, aren't they?
I think Pereira's
35.
35
He's
and
33.
33.
Yeah. I don't care what anyone says. You get knocked out by someone in kickboxing, and then you get stopped in your MMA match, and you can sit there and say whatever you want about. I saw Izzy's, interview where you're saying, "Hey, I was looking at him." No, you're not looking. You're looking at his feet. Okay, that's not looking at him. When your eyes are down and your head is down. That's not you looking at your opponent. That's not you seeing the damage that can be thrown. He was trying to move and all that, but it wasn't a bad stoppage. Pereira, he's got power in his shots. And man, if he touches you, I just look at this. It's got to be in the back of Izzy's mind, no matter what he says. Josh, when you get on a mic and you say stuff, you're going to say all kinds of stuff. But when you're by yourself and you're thinking about it, it's a different story because you know the thoughts that are going through your mind. And there is that thought he knows. Shit, I got to be careful of his power. I have to be careful of his power. I have to be careful. And when you have that in the back of your mind, it's sometimes minimizes your ability to be offensive. I thought he had some good offense. I thought the takedown things, I don't think the takedowns are going to work for him in this fight. And I agree with you. I think that it's going to be a tough fight for him to get a win against Pereira.
Yeah, I think you're going to look at a repeat of what happened last time. I just think that he potentially could knock Izzy out even earlier.
Yeah.
I think now that he knows that, look, these gloves are small. I can get knocked out. He knows he can get knocked out. But Alex doesn't seem to give a shit.
No.
And Izzy wrestled a little bit last time, and I think Alex can be a little bit more ready for it. He's got a full-time coach now in Glover, someone that can really try to help him with his training, set up sparring sessions with other people, not just him. And he's just enormous for the weight.
Oh.
He's enormous.
Dude, he's huge for the weight.
Walks around 230, 240,
he could
cuts
be a
down.
heavyweight.
I am pumped for the fight. I am excited to see another kickboxing fight. You don't have to worry about too much wrestling because they both will stand and they both will trade. I think if you take away from anything from the first fight for Izzy, use your speed, buddy. Straight punches, nothing rounding. Get there fast, get in and get out. Because if he touches you, you know you can go to sleep at any time. Just use your speed. It was the jab and the right hand and all the straight punches that got there first that hurt him in the second round.
Shifting topics onto a former champion now, with Francis Ngannou having left the UFC and seemingly nowhere near signing a deal anytime soon. Michael Bisping shares his concern for the heavyweight behemoth. Now the PFL, they're on the table. They're talking about it, but honestly, I don't think PFL have the kind of money that Francis is asking for. Reportedly with the UFC, he would have been getting a minimum of $6 million per fight, and it was a 3-fight contract. He could have had 3 fights by now, bagged at least $18 million and be a free agent and go elsewhere. So I'm not criticizing Francis Ngannou, I'm just wondering who's advising him. I like Francis, I'm a fan of his for sure. I love what he brings to the table, and I like him as a human being. My interactions with Francis Ngannou have been very, very positive. He's a lovely guy, he's a very gentle man. But inside the octagon, he's a maniac. He's a monster of the highest degree. So I love that, and I want to see him get paid, and I want to see him make the most of it. But the problem is, when you have people around you advising you, managers getting into your ear, and all different types of managers. Entertainment managers, fight managers, guys bringing you endorsement deals, and all the rest. They're all talk. They're all getting in your ear. They're all saying you should be getting paid more money. But ultimately, if you're not fighting, you're not earning money. And lastly, Dan Hooker has gone to Instagram to reveal his newly finished artwork.
Your young eyes light up the night sky.
Who cares if we're famous? Cause the stars already know what our name is. And it's starting to align. We'll be lighting up the night. Nobody gon' tame us. No fear, we ain't scared of danger. So give it your best try. Can't nobody stop us this time. So I'ma let my chest poke out just a little. I'm headed to the top, can't stop in the middle. We are on the rise, so keep watching the skies.